Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first of a new type of video on the Starguard Studios YouTube channel. Which is not scripted, because you're gonna be able to tell very quickly that this is not scripted. This is gonna be a mock review on this guy, Spark. That's right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing mock reviews because I figured I'm gonna be making mocks, and if nothing else, I could talk about them, and that's content, right? And I don't know. It's something to do. If y'all like them, I'll go ahead and keep making them. If not, I'll shut up and not do them anymore. But here is the kind of the first. I felt this was a good one to start off with because I mean it's Spark. It's the self-mock Spark. Guys, I think I just kicked a set that I have down here. It's probably fine. Anyway, alright guys, so starting off with Spark because he's kind of like the mascot or self-mock of the channel. I wanted to show his new rendition, which I made a YouTube short of, but not like an official. Why not? It is on the channel, but a proper video showcasing him. So this is the new Spark, head to toe. This is him. He's an updated version. I wanted to update him because I just kind of wanted to make him a little more like I originally kind of envisioned him, to kind of make him a little smoother, specifically with the chest. I want to get rid of the. You know what? Hold on. Okay, guys. To really showcase why I kind of made these changes, I'm going to bring out the old Spark. Yeah. So, I still have him built, but so this one I like. Still, I think they're both good, and in some aspects there's better things. Specifically, the thighs I think are better. Crazy sentence, but on the original I think the thighs are better, specifically with this system piece covering up the back. However, I don't have another one of those because I don't have system parts, because I'm just not that guy, guys. I'm not that guy. So with Spark, I liked how kind of cubish he was, but I wanted to give him a little more shaping, and really it came down to this 2015 piece. I never liked the piping kind of look. Like, I wanted him to look very smooth, very kind of like match the rest of it, and I felt like that 2015 always kind of stood out a bit too much. So I gave him this, which is kind of one solid piece, or the look of one solid piece, and that's really what I preferred. And then the arms are like quite literally the same, just the tire I think is different because I just didn't have the other tire. I wanted to cut a shell and then put one on either side, but it became like I couldn't get the exact cut, and it was just a little too bulky for his arms, so his arms are pretty much the same. So starting with the arms, it's the exact same as the old version. He has, opposable hands, blah blah blah, as you do. And then we're going to go ahead and move to the legs, because I know normally people do the legs first and then everything else, but, I forgot about that. So you will see that there's sticky tack on here because I have been filming with them for a new video. Ooh. That better come out. If not, I'm going to cry myself to sleep. So, starting off with the legs. This is a custom foot because I like the old one, but I wanted this piece specifically, and I kind of like the new heel look, and yeah, I just want something new. That's hot glued and then super glued together, and it's honestly stayed up really well considering I've been like putting sticky tack and stuff all over it. So yeah, that's the new foot design. I like it. It goes with the whole kind of smooth shaping. And that's another thing, he has no dry brushing or anything on him because I wanted him to look very clean and very kind of robust, robotic. I don't know if robust is the correct word. I'm just saying words at this point, but onto the legs. I got these system parts from a what's it called? A knockoff, like one of those mech knockoffs you can find on Amazon. And so I cut that shell on the side and kind of glued it there because I really wanted to replicate this Gundam that I had. In fact, I was going to originally just use Gundam legs and kind of attach them to a joint like that, but then they were just way too small. So I decided to kind of replicate that as best I could in system. And so I did that and gave him this, why am I blanking on the name? Star Wars shin piece. That's what that is. So yeah, and then the upper legs, that's an issue. That's an issue right there. But I'm gonna remedy this. But right now, that's another thing with Spark. Oh my gosh, the light is still on for his eyes. I can't. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So one thing to keep in mind with Spark, and this is not an excuse as to some of my poor choices, but this is more so just a reasoning of why, or I guess just explanation. So specifically with this old version, I think he's a good example. I always kind of update MOCs as I go along. Like originally his arms were different, and you could go back to old videos and see that. His torso stayed pretty much the same, and the legs were different. Like these kind of, none of this back coverage was on the original quote-unquote version of him. So this is like, this design evolved, and so will this design. I think I'm just gonna, like, I mostly use these versions specifically for Spark because he's such a prevalent character throughout videos. He will change, he's gonna get little add-ons and such. Just whenever I find sometimes a piece, I'm like, oh, that'd be really good to add to him, so that will happen to this guy. And so that will probably get covered up there. If I could get another system piece like that to throw on back there, I will, but until then. And here are the kind of like little armor things he has on the side. This one fell off, and so I glued it, but I glued it onto ribbon to wherever it's like able to move a little more, but it's attached to the leg itself and kind of gives that little bit of wiggle room so it doesn't snap off. This one hasn't snapped off yet, but whenever it does, I'm going to put the ribbon on like that. Lower torso is the same. The upper torso, he has that foot piece, and I like it because it's kind of got that like backpack, almost like a kind of inspired by Invader Zim, how he has that like little backpack thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And then these shells, which I wanted these to originally kind of like jut out a little more and kind of give them better shaping, but that didn't really come out. And you can't really see them anyway. But here is the upper torso. This is the big thing. There's this ribbon in here to kind of like give him the kind of go with the tires look. Like I wanted to make it look like to fill him in a little more, but not. I didn't want it to look like he's a human. Like he should still look like a robot. I know other characters I use cloth elements to kind of signify that they're organic, and so I really did not want Spark to look like he's organic because he's a robot. Also, there's some system bits here that could be glued better, but those are kind of to help make it look like one solid piece to kind of wrap around the shoulders. And then here is some system, and then cut Herofactory torso and glued together there because I really wanted a solid kind of piece there. And I think it came out really well. I mean, I'm always working at getting better at cutting and gluing, so that could be improved. But yeah. And the head. So the head, I glued some blue light pieces in there, but I also gave him some glowing eyes. And so on the light box, you can't really see it. Okay, you could do it if I change my, or kind of block it, but there is the light in there. So that's it with the light, and this is it without the light. So there is a difference. You can't really see it on the light box, but there is a battery in there. And so I kind of glued the head and put some light blue pieces in there to wherever it would shine blue. And then I sealed it up, and so that's his new head. Yeah, and so you can kind of get the comparison between the old and the new Spark. Canonically, it's the same one, which, take that as you will. I mean, is it kind of cheap to just go like, oh, this is the same one, but also I think they look similar enough to wherever I could just say this was because at the end of the day, I didn't want to change Spark's design. I more so just wanted to adapt it into what I originally envisioned for him. So canonically, these are the quote-unquote same, but I realize they do look different. So just point is, if you see like this and that, there's not going to be a video where Spark's like, oh my goodness, Taron, check out my new design. I now look completely different. But even though he doesn't look completely different. What am I trying to get at? What I'm trying to say is these are canonically the same design. They're the same version of Spark. Like, there's going to be flashbacks with him in this design. That doesn't... Is that cheap? But also, but also, like, looking back at old videos, there's a ton of stuff that doesn't really line up with stuff now. So I think it's okay. Especially since these... Like, if you squint, you could probably not tell the difference between these two designs. So I don't think it's that bad. What was the point I'm trying to get at? Alright guys, so that was my first quote-unquote mock review on Spark. There's not too much to them, because, I mean, in all honesty, this was the first one that I kind of made out of the new batch that I'm working on, because I have time now over break to work on mocks and such. So there's not too much to him. There's not much going on with him. He's Spark. I really just wanted to kind of bring in some of the original elements that I wanted. So it's not a super new, super robust design, even though I said that earlier. But really, it's an update. Other mocks I want to show are going to be just complete, kind of ground up, or their revamps are much more extensive. So, I mean, hopefully those mock reviews are a little more interesting. But yeah, just starting off, here is Spark. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you want me to keep making these kinds of videos, I can. I really want to do more videos on mocking and kind of how I make stuff, because I do very quote-unquote non-purist builds with like cutting and gluing and all this stuff. And I think, not necessarily to quote-unquote call attention, but like just kind of talking more so about that, because I don't see a lot of people in the community talking about it, even though a lot of kind of bigger members do more non-purist kind of designs. And that's not to say like I want to be like, alright guys, everyone cut your Lego pieces. No. Obviously, do whatever you want. But like, just kind of talking about it and going to more some of the customization things, I think would be interesting to see. So if you're interested in that, put a comment or like the video, But here's the mock reviews that I'm going to be working on. So, yeah. Spark. Hope you all enjoyed it.